Well, I approached several brokers when I decided to sell the business, really to get an idea of what the procedure was from our point of view and from their point of view, and obviously to get an idea of the selling price. And it struck me, having discussed it with 3 or 4 brokers, that Avondale seemed to be the most professional and could offer what we wanted. I felt Avondale tailored very nicely to what we were looking for. Obviously, we were looking to maximise the sale price, but also I was anxious that the business went to the right person or company, if it could have been a company who bought it. And I felt Avondale, with their professionalism, targeted it very well and approached the right sort of people.
I think that the first thing I would say is that they very much simplified the process of acquiring the business with a very professional approach, both to the vendor and to me as the purchaser. With Avondale, I sensed that immediately I was getting good feedback. So when I was proposing value, they would come back to me with a counter proposal pointing out some of the reasons why perhaps my plan or my thoughts might not work. But at the same time, they were also talking to Paul and Cherry Woodley about the true value of the business. So there was no sense on my part that the business was being overvalued by the vendor. They were very realistic about how much money they thought the vendor would be able to achieve, and that gave me a great deal of confidence in proceeding. So I think, in a nutshell, it was a lot of very professional and valuable help in making sure that we came to a sensible, fair deal for both of us. Well, I already have recommended Avondale to a couple of people who were thinking of acquiring a business. I'm not sure whether they actually took it any further, but I would certainly recommend them without any reservation at all.
Certainly. I mean, I dealt with a lot of people in the engineering industry in the Thames Valley and further afield, and the first thing they asked when I announced I was selling the business was, who did you use? And I would have no hesitation in recommending Avondale, because they were so patient. And what was nice was that they made me feel like the most important client they had, whereas they were dealing with probably clients 4 or 5 times as big. And but they always made, whenever as William said, whenever you pick up the phone, there was somebody there to deal with it. They were on the ball with all what was happening with the sale process. And
yes, I think that's quite an interesting point, really, is that although in the grand scheme of things it's probably a relatively small acquisition from Avondale's point of view, one never got the impression that they thought that there was a problem, that both Paul and I were relatively inexperienced vendors and acquirers. It was always, yes, that's a very excellent idea, but we think you need to just tweak this bit. It was an extremely positive experience.
Yeah, very much.